That's my best joke for all the Korean listeners. You're welcome.
Suddenly, all 67 episodes make sense.
My best joke is one that I have to explain because none of you speak the language. Hi everyone, this is Naruto Running Man Kirby. Welcome to the Real Gamerscore podcast. This week I'm joined by my sexy harem no jutsus, Matt.
Howdy.
And Warren.
Hi.
Here at Real Gamerscore, we like to discuss all things Xbox, achievements, and the best Rockstar game ever made ever. This week we talk about sticking with the Xbox ecosystem, potential Scarlet launch lineups, and authoritarian regimes in the 100 Acre Woods. But first, here's the song of the week.
Gaming all the night, when you find yourself online, your achievements popping right, and it's taking all your time. Gaming all the night, when there's so much left to score, you've got so many games, and you just keep buying more. And now it's time to fight, when your rival's closing in. There's nothing more I like, this time I got the win. Going, 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 your backlog shrinking down. You find you're not enjoying the games you play right now. Achievements, walkthroughs, video guides, speed runs, roguelites, losing your mind. You've been on a Gamerscore find. Let your achievements win for your side. That'll do. I won't do the whole song.
Are you sure?
I was thinking about it. It's one of my favorite songs.
Yes, it too is my favorite, as I'm so familiar with said song.
Or I'll play it for you, and you'll know it exactly once you actually hear the proper music.
It's really killing me. I know this, but it's not coming to mind, man. It's really.
Don't worry. The minute you get it, the minute you hear it, you kick yourself. Yeah.
I certainly will do that when I hear what the song is that you tell me later.
I'll tell you in the break.
Okay. As for songs, we had last week's song. Sorry to everyone.
Oh, sorry. Did we have a song last week?
Technically, someone sang. I did have some people message me going, "Is that this? Question mark? And I said yes. I said, did the drums help? And I said, not really. But last week's song, Alex tells me, he's told me this. I don't necessarily believe him, but he told me it was In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
Yep. Yeah.
Now the drums make sense. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yep.
And the best part about that was that Alex wasn't even going to do the drums until I started miming them on the Skype call so he could see them.
And honestly, I don't know. I kind of wish he'd handballed that to someone else to do, because that was... I feel like rhythmically it wasn't quite there. That's right, no. He gave it his all.
You know what? Like, I was supposed to have a song, I had half a song, and it didn't work out, so he came in clutch at the last minute, so, I'll give him credit.
Yeah. The only thing I can ever think of when I hear that song is the Cadbury Gorilla ad.
The Gorilla ad, I was just thinking that.
That's all I can think of. Yep. Have you seen this, Warren?
Yeah. No, I have not.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to have to look it up now.
In break.
Yeah, you definitely need to.
Yeah. You'll see it. Don't worry. If anyone has not seen it, look up Cadbury Gorilla ad in the air tonight. It's fantastic.
Yep.
If you would like to yell at Alex for butchering that song, you can join the Discord, discord.io/realgamerscore. You enter that in your web browser, so any web browser you prefer to use, it'll redirect you to join our server. You can have a chat. You can be disappointed with the rest of us because that was sure something. If you would like to, and I can't believe I'm going to say that after telling you what the song was, but if you would like to support us monetarily, you can do so on Patreon, patreon.com/realgamerscore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be surprised when all of you drop your Patreon because of that. But,
but the thing is, if we don't have the money, then we're not going to be able to afford singing lessons to make the show better.
Yeah. No amount of lessons will.
I was going to say, that's a really high tier, Patreon tier, that we need to hit to get that. We need to get some real professionals in.
We need to be at like the $1,000 monthly mark to be able to afford lessons that will improve us.
Yep.
So get on it, guys. Word of mouth. We do have our random to-do list giveaway. Funnily enough, no one sent in a new answer after hearing my joke last week about the previous month's random to-do list competition. So you all knew that I was a horrible liar. No one even mentioned it. I bet no one's listened to it yet, but that's all right. The winner for the month of October was, and drumroll, Hawkeye Barry 20, and that means you've won Redeemer Enhanced Edition.
Yeah, you got it. I was just about to jump in and save you, but you got it.
Sundered Eldritch Edition was in my head. I'm like, it's not that game. That's an old game. It's not that.
Yep.
But yes, Redeemer Enhanced Edition. So send me a message on Discord or on True Achievements. I'll hook you up with the code. As for the month of November, the prize is Hours Adventure. Wait, is it Adventure? Awakening. Hours Awakening. So you need to send the answer to the trivia question, another game with the word Awakening in the title, and you need to unlock at least one achievement in your random to-do list in the month of November. If you're not in the random to-do list, just send me a message on Discord or True Achievements, or send a message to the random to-do list account on True Achievements, and I will get you sorted with a list. I think that's all the housekeeping, so we can move straight into the news. Starting with my favorite country,
Taiwan,
the motherland. You know, what I would call home were I not born in Australia. China.
Mm-hmm.
China is doing right by its people and helping its youths to be good, upstanding citizens by, first of all, imposing a curfew. Mm-hmm. So minors, that's under 18 years old, can't play online games between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m., which is good. They should be sleeping to prepare for their lessons about Chairman Mao in the upcoming school day.
And obviously
also,
not to learn anything about Tiananmen Square either. That's not on the agenda. Or
I've never heard of that place.
Right, okay, yeah, no, sorry, I read it somewhere.
I think you might have... What? Is that I think that's a fictional story you've read.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, it was the ravings of a madman.
Yeah. The place doesn't exist.
He was dressed like Winnie the
Pooh. Also, not a real character. I don't know what you're talking about. Please stop with your slander. It's not appropriate on this show. We're a fact-driven show, and we would like to keep it that way.
Oh, bother.
I think we owe it to our listeners to just be all about the facts and not to blitzchung this.
Okay, but the actual story, yes. Before we lose all of our social points.
Yeah, as if you had any to begin with, white man. Anyone under the age of 18 will also be restricted to 90 minutes of online gaming during weekdays and 3 hours on the weekends and public holidays. So
that's how many Fortnite games?
That's If you are, I think 20 minutes.
Yeah, about 20 minutes roughly. So if you're
That's
good,
right.
so let's
You get 4 games in if you're gonna be in the sort of towards the final circle. You get 4 games in. You get about 20 games in if you're ChinDocta in that 90 minutes. So 20 plus, to be honest.
Let's
jump out straight into the fog and die or whatever. Straight into the storm. So that's specifically online gaming. It doesn't mention offline gaming at all. So I am assuming they can go play FIFA 20 career mode as much as they want because it's not online. I'm not sure how a game like that would be differentiated because there is online parts of it. Whether, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how that would work, but whatever. They'll figure it out. They are China. Government is also introducing spending limits on online accounts depending on the player's age, with 16 to 18-year-olds only able to spend about $60 a month, and younger than that can put about $30 into their accounts per month. Which I think out of all of this, that's probably the most positive action that they've taken, is introducing spending limits for minors. Because, yes, although the parents should be doing it, if we don't... Government stepping in is never necessarily the best step, but if it's stopping something becoming a problem, I think in this specific instance, the spending limit is okay. But it's also,
I don't know. It's a tough issue to tackle because
it certainly is. I mean, we spoke about it in the Discord for a bit. Pretty sure everyone knows where I stand on this. I'm very much on the side of, for me at least, this is not a big deal. And it could be a lot to do with how I was brought up in a very fairly Asian household, and this is like this, not necessarily to this extent, but this kind of rule imposing on minors is not necessarily out of left field for me. Like this. And again, not to say that this is the right thing for them to do, but this is just, for me, it's whatever. This is not a story, especially when they're not the first country to do this. They're, not even the most famous country to do this. I think, of current time, sure, but when South Korea did it, I don't know that there was this much story about it. I don't remember. It was about 2 or 3 years ago. South Korea put a whole bunch of bans on games in general, and even now they're classed in such a way that it costs way too much to get games rated in Korea. I think Sangrias was talking in another Discord, and I think it's for a rating period is $8,000, and then any major updates also need to be rated at that same price.
Wow.
So if you do an update on the game, it's another $8,000. So any expansions WoW had would need $8,000 every single time. Any major updates Fortnite had from their major versions, so even seasons, would probably need that $8,000 being paid. So you really limit your market in that, and clearly that's an area where things have gone poorly, and maybe this will follow.
I think that's the thinking, is that combined with China's view on, we'll even leave out the humanitarian problems they've been having recently, that we've been revealed recently. But even in the realm of video games, and their allowing of consoles recently and that sort of stuff, I don't see this being I think that the problem is potentially people are looking at what the intent is, because a lot of us feel like, and I'm maybe speaking for other people here, but just on the way I see it, is that I don't feel like this is something to protect people. I feel like this is more a tool to control people. Like, there's the difference between authoritarianism and security, right? If you want security, you have to give up a bit of freedom, but I think the intention there is not to help the people, to say, oh, people are gaming too much, we need to help them, with these addiction problems and that sort of stuff. It's, well, people are gaming too much, so we'll tell them that it's for their own good, but realistically we want them to be productive members of society and to contribute to the great Chinese, industrial machine, and not be wasting their time on video games, so we're just going to restrict them.
Yep. Yeah, I can see that viewpoint.
I guess, like, whichever reason they've made this change for, the amount of money that they've given them to spend per month is actually still fairly reasonable. I'm not someone who goes and buys skins or online purchases like that commonly, but $30 a month is actually, I think, more than enough to kind of show your love for your game at the same time as not breaking your bank. So, yeah, it is a restriction. I completely see both of your perspectives. How, you know, on one side it's helping people who might have an addiction problem. On the other side, it could also be used as a way, as a tool to help control society. But this is probably not what I would see personally as being too much of a step into personal liberty. It's doing stuff for under 18s. It has nothing to do with anyone who's 18 or older. So this is literally just saying, hey, you're a kid, you need to pay attention, you need to have other priorities in life. And I can get behind that.
Yeah, so the article also mentions that it applies to all online gaming platforms, including Riot Games, who are wholly owned by Tencent.
By Tencent, yeah.
Epic Games and Blizzard, who Tencent have fairly large stakes in. I don't know if they're large, but have a reasonable stake in those companies.
I believe it's at least 10%.
Yeah, so it's not like they're favouring their own companies. It's a blanket system. You know, they're not saying you can only do an hour and a half of FIFA, but if you want to play League of Legends and pump a ton of money into the Chinese, you can do that.
Here's the thing, though.
At the very least, it's...
Yeah, well, that's what we know, right? But I would not be surprised in the slightest if Tencent Games or something along those lines became suddenly exempt from this in a way that's not publicly put out there.
Yeah, fair enough. That's...
Because, I mean, basically, obviously, how they're going to ban this or how they're going to control this, they need to have a system in place. But realistically, I could see this being abused pretty easily. But then again, I mean, like, who knows? I'm not going to put my tinfoil hat and go full conspiracy theorist on it. But
no,
I
could see that coming in. So the next paragraph they mention is they're working with police to set up real name registration system so that game companies can check the identity, and if they're not supervising their players, they have a time frame with which to change and comply, or will face repercussions. I could see potentially Tencent getting a lot more leeway in their time, something like that. Again, I think it's not like this rule is not coming in necessarily for the betterment of Chinese companies. It's to attempt to, as you said, make better workers in the future. If you have less time to spend on games, you might read more or study more or whatever, and that could then lead you to being a more productive adult. I said that weird.
Yeah, I mean,
adult.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I think. And I kind of agree with Warren, is that I don't think it's the biggest overreach of all time, but I think combined with the attitude that China has had towards its citizens, towards gaming, and towards outside media, it's just another thing on that list that makes me, rub my chin a bit and go, well, not sure if I like the way that this potentially could go if they decide to. Which, I mean, who knows? Maybe it will be for the betterment of the Chinese people, even by accident.
I mean, if you look at it, like, okay, you take it in terms of how each country perceives things. Like, in China, this won't be seen as much of an overreach because this is just kind of in line with a lot of other policies in that country. Whereas were they to try to enact this in the United States or Australia or New Zealand, there'd be some serious pushback. So it has to do with kind of where it is. And considering China, I can see this happening.
Yeah, it's interesting talking to people from China who, are fully aware that that the government is basically censoring what they see on the internet and whatever else they're doing, and are just like, yeah, so what? That's my life. What am I gonna like? There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just gonna live with it and learn to live with it, and thrive with what I'm being given. Like that, there's so much of the population just really does not care about how much their government is cutting them off from whatever else. Like they're just
I'm not going to go into the whole argument of if you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't be worried about government surveillance and control, because that's a whole other podcast. Yeah. But it's I mean, like you're right. It's kind of, it is very much it's like when I saw this headline, I was not surprised in the least. I think is just how I'd put that. I just looked at it and I thought, well, obviously that would never fly in a Western nation, but in China, does not even surprise me in the least.
Yep. I want to say maybe a year and a half ago, the Philippines essentially put a blanket ban on under 16-year-olds entering essentially LAN cafes and stuff between the hours of like 10 p.m. to might have even been 8 p.m. to 4 p.m. So the time they should have been sleeping and at school till the after school or whatever. So I don't know if this was super widespread or if it was just a state, but that's a reasonably big, and that's how most of the population accesses these. Like, a lot of people don't have computers at home that they can play whatever game, Dota, League, whatever on. Most of them have to go to LAN cafes and whatever else. And so that was a big step in, I guess, trying to do what this act is doing as well, or this ruling. So it's interesting to see how very different Asia looks at this stuff compared to what we would consider Western society.
Yeah. The dogs are great.
My dogs are real pissed off at Xi Jinping. Like, super angry. They're just...
Winnie the Who?
You should give us some honey.
Don't eat me. Yeah. He's gonna be in power forever. That's the thing.
Yep.
Because they got I don't know what law it was, but they basically got rid of term limits. So
yep,
he's just in until he dies. So that'll be interesting.
I thought they already had an emperor.
All right.
Oh my god, your dogs are barking, buddy.
Do you want to give me 1 second?
Yep.
10 seconds.
10 cents.
10 cents, yep.
Hey! Come here.
Who let the dogs out?
Oh my god. I actually watched a behind the scenes to that. Apparently, the Baja Men were a very nice and family-oriented group until they did that song, which has nothing to do with normal dogs.
You bark.
Really? No, yep. That's right. So funny.
I'm back.
Oh.
Dealt with my dogs the only way I know how.
He let the dogs out.
Yep.
I've let them in, actually.
Who let the
dogs in?
Yeah. You're both just the worst. Alright, let me think of a good segue.
Alright, well, I'm going to use that. We should definitely use that clip, though, for the clip of the week. Our beautiful musical interlude.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some segue about how Sony is like a more controlling...
Yeah, speaking of controlling ecosystems...
Yeah, that works, yeah. Alright. Moving on from a slightly less controlling ecosystem to a more controlling ecosystem. Sony. Yeah. PlayStation 4. Super popular, right?
What? I never heard of it.
second best selling console ever behind the PlayStation 2. Back when the Xbox didn't exist, there was no competition.
I was reading that.
Yeah, that's different.
I thought the Wii was a better seller.
That's the... No, PlayStation was huge.
We did sell
Wii
very
was
well.
really
though.
good. PlayStation 2 was, again, it was massive because there was literally nothing else. Like, you could get... I don't know what Sega console... Was there a Sega console even out roughly around that time?
You mean the Dreamcast?
Sure. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's my point.
So well. The Jaguar.
Look, I love the Dreamcast, but oof.
When your options were figure out how to get a PC going or buy a PS2, you were buying a PS2.
I mean, to be fair, that generation was probably some of the best console gaming ever. PlayStation 2, the original Xbox, the GameCube.
Was the original Xbox then?
Yeah.
Yep, PlayStation 2, original Xbox, and GameCube. Yep, that was, and then
no competition.
And then the Dreamcast, which got basically axed.
PlayStation 2, no competition, easy.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So I think it's a much bigger deal that the PS4 is the second best selling console ever.
Yep.
But Sony is looking. Well, Jim Ryan, the PlayStation boss, is trying to figure out a way to make the shift from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 much more quickly than the community shifted from the PS3 to the PS4, which I don't understand because the PS3 was absolute trash.
Well, I think the part of it was also trying to get the community over from the 360 over to the PlayStation 4, but they can't really come out and say that.
Yeah. Yeah, you spent $1,000 on a brick, and then you're like, PS4. Ooh,
it runs Linux. Oh,
yep.
Wait, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Here's your $5 for that class action.
So they talked about how I don't want to use this.
Oh,
quote.
you have to.
Okay, this is a quote. From the
So
article.
Jim, what quote was that?
I don't want to say it because it just feels awful to say. The article says, and I quote, I'm quoting someone else saying this. I am not saying this. Jim Ryan is saying this. The creepy little man he is. These are nothing against him because he works at Sony, just because he said this quote. Purely on the basis of this quote. These are gamers who are networked and sticky and engaged and passionate about PlayStation to an extent that we've not seen in previous generations. That's because Twitter didn't exist in previous generations. That's literally it.
Yeah,
if Twitter existed in the PS2 era, the wars would have been insane.
Yeah, I mean, console wars seem to have calmed down quite a bit over the last few years as the consoles have gotten closer and closer together.
Yeah, they're very much like it's passionate people just taking little pot shots at the other one, and most of us going, yeah, but I don't care.
It's like, I'll just buy the other one if I need the other one.
Yeah, like, but why? I don't care that it does that. I'm very happy with the thing I've got. It's that weird thing of needing to validate your purchase.
Yeah, well, especially the younger people who don't have a lot of money, potentially, who've spent quite a bit on this thing, need to justify the fact that they spent, hundreds of dollars on a piece of machinery.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with this chair I just ordered. I'm absolutely validating the crap out of it. So, as we move towards next generation in 2020, one of our tasks, probably our main task, is to take that community and transition it from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, and at a scale and pace that we've never delivered on before. Article goes on to say it's unclear how Sony plans to do that, or if it'll impact any cross-platform releases, so releases coming out at that sort of generation cusp that releases on both. And that publishers have given good feedback on the dev tools for the PS5, so the shift should be easier. I think the answer is obvious.
Backwards compatibility.
It's backwards compatibility for everything, yeah, exactly. You just make the ecosystem essentially identical, and everything will work, and job done.
I mean, that's what Microsoft's going to do with the Scarlet, apparently, as well, right? Is that just be like, well, there's no reason... Because, I mean, I still have my 360 hooked up, because a lot of that stuff just doesn't play on the Xbox One, even though I have maybe 30, 40 games I still need to finish on there that aren't backwards compatible.
Yeah.
And it's, it's just years later. And it's like, if the Xbox One comes out and it's like, if the PlayStation 5 and the Scarlet come out, or the next box, or whatever they call it.
I love the next box, isn't it?
It's a great idea, right? And then the next box after that. Like, if that comes out and it's like, oh yeah, everything's backwards compatible, then I might be like, well, I don't really, because the part of the reason I added the story in there, because I wanted to have the discussion around when is the time to upgrade. Because when the Xbox One came out, I didn't pick one up until Halo 5 came out, basically, and I got a bundle cheap-ish. So that was a couple years in. But like I've never really been one of those people who buy something at launch. But I don't know. What about you guys? Are you guys thinking, when Scarlet comes out, you're going to be day one there?
Probably not for me. I mean, I went day one with a lot of the other platforms. With the Xbox One, with 360. But I mean, it's especially if it's all going to be just being let me play the stuff I already have. And it's going to depend on cash, really. I mean, if I have the money, yeah, I'll probably splurge on it, But I guess chances are I'm probably going to end up waiting on it because there's always those day one, production model one issues that they have to fix with the console. And I'm honestly sick of kind of being in that group of people that has to pay for the repairs, or the guys that are stuck with the Kinect attached. I'll wait.
I like how you put day one bugs and hardware problems and then Kinect also just attached.
Just separately.
Yeah.
It has its own problem.
Basically the same thing. It's as bad as red ringing and
yeah.
Well, it was like $100 add-on that they made us pay for. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I agree. What about you, Chin?
Holiday season, so what, mid-November?
Yes, I've been just before Christmas, yeah.
I'll probably ask for it for Christmas and get that as a Christmas present. Like, that's likely where this will head. But if I wasn't doing that, I would likely wait 6 months, make sure everything worked, like that everything is backwards compatible or whatever. Because I would probably trade in my X towards it.
Makes sense.
If I'm being perfectly honest, because if there is no reason for me to need an X, especially because I'm not double boxing, like I've got a game share partner, so that is not a thing for me anymore. I've no reason to have it. I may as well upgrade and get rid of it if I'm upgrading.
Yep.
Like that's just seems to be the cleanest way to go. Assuming everything worked after 6 months, that's when I'd be looking at purchasing. But with it coming in holiday season, I'll probably just try and get it for Christmas and then get it for Christmas and go from there. It'll be interesting to see how long Xbox One games are still produced. Yeah. I think that'll be the kicker for trying to move them on. If you're making PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games 3, 4, 5 years after, there is less incentive for someone to move on. If you basically kill it after a year, which you can do the majority.
I mean, they basically did that with the original Xbox when the 360 came out.
You can get the majority of games cut after the first year. There's stuff that's been in development for 10 years and you're a one-man dev and you've got really no choice but to release on the Xbox, so you just keep going. And, your FIFAs will keep going on the Xbox One for 12 more years after the Scarlet's release and all that stuff. But, like, you cut off the games as soon as realistically possible. You kind of put pressure on them to upgrade. I mean, it's a bit of a not nice strategy, but that's the way to do it.
But I guess if they're sticky enough, they'll stick right to the next console.
Oh, why is a gamer sticky? Why are they sticky?
Is the gamer sticky? Is it the controller? Is it the console itself? Is it just like a whole sticky mess? Or like...
Really poor choice of words.
Sitting in
word.
Did someone drop some gamer fuel on it or something? So they spilled their Monster Energy and it was all sticky.
Girl Gamer water.
Blowing their water money.
That's how you clean. That's how you clean yourself up. Is you get a bunch of Girl Gamer water. Right?
Oh,
From
God.
all if you're sticky.
No,
wash yourself.
no. Let's skirt around that explicit tag.
It's what? She's over 18.
Yeah, but not all of our listeners are, unfortunately. Apparently, otherwise they'd get they'd get my songs every week.
Yeah, no. I think that's probably the toughest thing to do is to get that shift across. But that's really, if you're going to do it, you have to
go hard.
You have to cut off the reason to stay.
Yeah, exactly. They have to make it basically a no-brainer.
I hate to bring this up, but it's only because I have watched it in the last 4 or 5 times in the last couple months. There's a documentary on Netflix called Living Undocumented. It's about undocumented people living in the US. And there was the wife of one was saying, because his working visa, normally it takes 3 months to get approved. This one, it was 6 or 7 months. And she was saying this is essentially the American government putting pressure on them so that they self-deport. So they it's too hard to be here. I'm just going to go back to wherever.
Yeah.
Even though that's not necessarily the best decision. And that would be what this feels like. But if you're going to do it, that's how you've got to do it. You've just got to make it easier to move on than to stick around.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty torn about it because I have, looking at my backlog, and I say this all the time, and I've been saying it for years, is I have so many games. I have enough games to last for the next 3 years easy without buying a single new one.
Oh, God forbid we stop buying. We will
no, exactly, absolutely not. But, well, the thing is, I think we're running out of things to buy. But I think
on sale, we're just going to start buying things at full price.
Oh God, yeah. Well, that's not going to last very long, is it? I don't know. I'm very much torn because I think I'm wondering. Again, it depends on, like you said, how quickly they cut off the Xbox One, and then also how they do the cross-gen games. Because if it's just going to be the games are exactly the same. Like you buy one version, you can play it on the Xbox One or on the Scarlet, and it's just a slightly better version on the Scarlet, and they basically just keep releasing games for both for the next 3 years. I don't really see myself upgrading. Because I've got plenty to play on the Xbox One. I still have a bunch of 360 games I need to finish. That eventually they'll shut those down at some stage. I mean, look at Battlefield. EA stuff already causes problems these days. I mean, I might just wait till they release, the Slim Scarlet or whatever the next generation version of it is. Because well, we'll see. I mean, look, if they have a really good incentive and get a good trade price on the Xbox One X and the stars align, yeah, exactly right. EB Games going out of business. We haven't got any money to give yet, so we'll see. I mean, I'm definitely not as gung ho about it as I have been in previous generations because I'm a little bit more cautious around issues and around realistically just how much it's going to cost and how well it's going to be supported at launch.
Yeah, I had someone ask me, the last week or so, if I was planning on upgrading to the whatever the next generation was. I'm like, yeah. You're not going to switch over to Sony? I'm like, no, I'm sticky and I'm stuck in this ecosystem. That was my response because that was the first thing that came in my head to describe myself as being someone who was so invested in an ecosystem is because I was sticky.
So you're not a Microsoft drone or a...
No, I'm just sticky.
An Xbox slave.
Xbot.
An Xbot. Yeah, you're a sticky gamer.
Yeah.
Are you a micro whale?
A sticky micro whale.
I had an interesting... I can't remember... It came up in another Discord, and it's a bit tangential, but you brought it up with micro whale. I was wondering whether I had spent more money on Blizzard titles or on Microsoft.
Oh, Microsoft.
So this is
Gotta be, right?
for me. It's WoW and subscriptions. I did it from year 8 in high school till
$14.95 a month.
Like I did that for 8 years or so, maybe a bit more. And then the pile I put into Overwatch.
Right. Yep.
And then, so I reckon it would be close. Like, I think it would be surprisingly close to see how, if I could see that somehow, I couldn't because, God forbid they ever give me that information, but, especially because WoW was over multiple accounts because of me being a child and having an easy password to get into. Yeah. There was a weird situation where someone hacked my account, added game time, I got my account back, I used the game time, their bank disputed it, my account got closed until I paid the money I owed them, and I couldn't use like a credit card or anything to pay it.
Huh.
I think it... Again, I was a child and I don't remember reading. I feel like they said I had to mail them cash.
Oh, that sounds legit.
But it was, at the time, I think, I spoke to someone who's a Blizzard employee, and they're like, yeah, no, at that period of time, for whatever reason, like, there was some issue with cards, and that was the only way they would accept, like, paying back money that was owed.
Wow. That's...
Not necessarily paying for things, but paying back money that was... It was weird. And I could be misremembering, and I definitely don't have the email, but I feel like they're just like, you need to mail us the cash. And it was to the Blizzard whatever. Like, it was... I looked it up, and it was wherever they're set up.
The Nigerian prince at Blizzard.com.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish.
Like winning the Rockstar lottery.
All right, you've done it for me, buddy. I was going to say, moving on to other big companies. But you've got it. Rockstar.
Never heard of them.
Rockstar. Is Rockstar better than Monster Energy?
I'm honestly not
consume
a fan of either of those, truth be told.
Yeah.
I know one of them tastes like gummy snakes.
Monster.
I know
I don't know which one.
I know that Monster Energy
does?
is in the new Death Stranding game with the most beautifully rendered can I've ever seen in my entire life. So I'm going to go with that. Because, that's how advertising works.
And if they put a Supreme logo on it, it'd be worth about 10 grand.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Limited edition, Supreme Monster Energy.
Actually, they have games that are like Monster Energy Supercross. So, how many Rockstar branded games... I take it back. They got table tennis.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Crap.
Table tennis is great.
Was that genuinely based on the like sponsored by the energy drink?
No,
and
it's
not
it was made by Rockstar. Okay. It was made by the GTA guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I was like, did Rockstar get a sponsorship from Rockstar for the table tennis game? Maybe
if they could put Rockstar energy drink cans on the table, that would have been the way to go.
Yeah. Energy drink pong.
Yeah, there's a I hate to tangent, but you got me with the Rockstar Monster Motocross whatever. There's a Rocket League tournament happening in my state. It's a little tiny state, but there's prizes you can donate and go into a pool to win a prize. And the major prize is 6 months of free Boost juice. Boost juice being a juice. I don't know how you describe it. You like juice stalls. You just go, order. I want this juice made, and they make the juice. You get 6 months free. That
for our American listeners, he's referring to something similar to Orange Julius.
Am I though? Like, am I?
Yes.
Warren, am I?
I honestly am not sure what an Orange Julius is.
Wait, you're... What? You don't know what Orange Julius is?
No. I'm assuming this is not something that's in New England.
Maybe not. I had them when I was in Seattle and on the West Coast, but I don't know. Like, they were usually attached to a Dairy Queen. They just did, like, smoothies.
So they're like in shopping centers and malls, and they're just those like stores in the middle of the walkway, and you can just go and order a juice. Like, you can just get, I want apple and orange and watermelon, and they'll juice it up for you, and and you can get other stuff or all that sort of nonsense.
They
so
massively overcharge you for it.
yeah. That wasn't even the bit that was important in this story, but yeah, 6 months of booth juice, 1 month of a gym membership, and a limited edition, one of a kind Monster Energy motocross helmet. I think it's worth like $5,000. I'm like, huh. I get like the local sponsorship of Boost Juice and the local-ish gym. Like it's a franchise gym, but there's a couple local areas. Weird to get a motorcycle helmet as a prize. Like that seems for a gaming competition. That seems kind of weird to me. It's a really good looking helmet. I'll put a picture in the Discord for you guys, but I'm just like, I don't get it. Anyway, Rockstar North, moving on to the actual game bit of the podcast, hiring for development of a next-gen open-world character-driven game. That is a mouthful. They're making a new game for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Next Box.
Yeah, and it's an open-world game that has characters.
Yeah.
And they drive.
It's driven by characters, so
apparently they're getting cars
sounds
or something.
That sounds like Grand Theft Auto to me, if you're being driven by characters.
Yep, that's true. Yep.
Probably in taxis,
yep.
Limousines.
Probably a lot of conversations you got to listen to while you're on the way to somewhere, and then you get out and you shoot someone, and then you get back in and have another conversation while you drive back.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be the Cars DLC for Red Dead Redemption. You have like Mater and all those guys from Cars are going to be in Red Dead. It's got to be
Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
Who's the green one? Oh, I don't remember. All I know he says Kachiga. That's all I remember. He says Kachiga, and I only remember that because... No, I can't. No. Later.
Oh, God.
No. Yeah. So, Brain is... I honestly can't even get back on track. Their job listings on the website suggest that they are, they're all in on next gen at this point. Yeah, they're going to do some probably Red Dead 2 online updates and stuff.
They've said no single-player updates for Red Dead 2, so it's just going to be online stuff for them. Try and milk that horse.
Yeah. Well, it has nipples, so you can milk it, so it's fine. But yeah, just they're all in on this next gen at this point. So GTA 6... Return to Vice City, I don't know. That was the rumors, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's been rumored forever. Apparently it was going to be GTA 5 was going to be Vice City. I'm really hoping they do. It would make sense, you could do the VI in Vice as 6 VI. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
I can see that. I mean, Vice City was my favorite Grand Theft Auto by far, so.
Yeah. So the job listing specifies that they're looking for someone to develop, maintain, extend, and support an extensive high-level runtime animation system, pipeline, and tools, and to implement well-designed, robust, highly optimal new animation system features, integrating them into our existing animation, gameplay, and AI systems. So...
Cool, I'll send them my application.
So basically, they're doing Bully Online.
So, yeah...
you know what? Well, Bully 2, I'm super down with that as well.
Boy, what were the rumors? They were weird. There was stuff came out that Bully 2 essentially had started being made, but they didn't have any story or anything for it. They just had some character models, a couple sort of really empty sets that they could move in, and but no story. And then they just kind of went nowhere, so it just got canned. No one could think of anything for it.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I think the best thing to do with that is send him to military school as a follow-up. I think it would work out super well. But to be fair, Bully was a long time ago. That was PlayStation 2 originally. So, I mean, who knows? Yeah. Maybe it'll be time to bring it back. I mean, they do a sequel to Bully. They do another table tennis game, and then maybe we get around to another Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I would take a table tennis over GTA, to be honest. I enjoyed the table tennis game.
It's good.
Yeah. Still need to be made GOAT if anyone's interested.
And I accidentally lost a few games, so, I mean, anyone that wants to throw a few level, what is it, 10s or whatever the top level was at me, yeah.
Yeah. Of course you lost
I was boosting.
Bet you fell
No, I
asleep
was
while you were
boosting with a
boosting.
buddy, and we didn't pay attention to the achievements before we started because we were bad TAers back then. I mean, that was long ago.
3 weeks ago.
I'm pretty sure it was 2010, but
And it was Yoda.
Spaz actually.
Oh, Spaz, okay.
Oh, of course you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, he had it on mute the whole time.
He's like, man, Warren is just not talking to me. It's really weird.
You know I used to race cars, right?
I don't. This is not a joke that's happening. Stop.
God damn it.
No, I'm not allowing this to happen.
What are you talking about? I used to race cars, but they'd always win because they're much faster than I am. That's fine, you can cut that. Alright, so, while Chin goes off on his protest, what's next on the list? What have we got here? Apparently...
Speaking of hiring,
Oh, yep.
we're looking for a new podcast host.
God.
Well, hey, Microsoft is hiring, so hey, I guess
also-
you got a job there if you need.
Perfect.
Yeah, you move on to Microsoft, buddy, and we'll... No, they're looking... Microsoft are hiring for key Xbox Game Studios positions. So they're looking for a PR manager for Xbox Game Studios. And look, everyone knows what a PR manager is. You send them an email, they send you a review code, you never talk to them again. Right? That's how that works.
Man, to think I used to want to be in that industry.
Yeah, you send in, they get bombarded with emails leading up to the release of the game. They get to pick and choose who gets a code. They send them out. They get no responses from them.
Yep. No thanks.
Yep.
No, hey, thanks for the game. Or, hey, this is a great game. Or, it's really good talking to you. How are you doing? It's, no, give me the code.
Thanks for the code. I'm going to block you now.
Yep.
Cheers. No, I do send out what episode and timestamp when the review started, and if the YouTube video is up, I'll send them the link to that as well. Because I'm good, and I would like to stay on their mailing list. But they're looking for someone to fuel growth, unannounced titles, as well as the next chapters of iconic franchises like Halo, Forza, Gears, and other games in development from the 15 Xbox Game Studios, and also Project Scarlet and Project xCloud.
Yeah, they're going to be very busy, this person.
Yeah, so they're basically the entire push for next gen. What are you girls eating? Okay, the carpet, that's fine. Whatever, eat the carpet, I don't care. They're just chewing the carpet. I don't know what's wrong with them. The Microsoft Professions page has a bunch of listings, like there's Director for Xbox Content Portfolio, to lead teams responsible for PR of the Xbox Game Studios, Global Brand Manager for Consoles, Accessories, Game Pass, Xbox Live Gold, Experiences, and a Product Marketing Manager to help with global marketing strategies. With each role, there seems to be a push for high-profile marketing strategies and an overall guide of guiding attention towards Xbox Game Studios, Game Pass, and Xbox Live Gold. Look, the easiest way to guide attention to Xbox Game Studios is to get them to release games, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah, no, I don't think... I think they've just realised that. I think it's just, like, that was on a whiteboard. Someone rubbed it out accidentally, and then someone realized it. Like, oh, we should probably get around to that.
Well, they probably acquired studios that were in the planning stages of some stuff, and had some ideas getting tossed around. And now that they've all been fleshed out, and now they're starting to bring on the staff to do like the hard work of production.
Here's the thing, though, right? Because you're right. I'm sure quite a few of those devs had games in development. I mean, look at Ninja Theory. They're coming out with was it Bleeding Edge? I think
Bleeding Edge.
Yeah, which was apparently already in development when they got acquired. So I'm sure a few of these other studios have similar
Outer
projects.
Worlds was
Outer Worlds with Obsidian. Yeah,
exactly right. So going forward, the new console's, what, a year away, we'll say?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And these guys got acquired in the last 18 months to 2 years now? Sorry, in the last 6 to 12 months, and it'll be 18 to 2 years by that stage. Do you think they will have things ready for launch? Or will this be a launch window situation where it comes out 6 months afterwards?
I think some of the earlier acquisitions will. Ninja Theory, I imagine Bleeding Edge will be ready for launch if they're doing alphas now.
Yeah.
And testing it at PAX and whatever else. Who else was in that first wave? Like, other than the obvious, I think Turn 10 was, but...
Yeah.
I mean, at that, we were pretty much like, yeah...
It's got to be a Forza,
that
obviously, yeah.
Yeah. So...
Was the Initiative in that first group?
Halo is...
Their new formed one?
Yes, because it was created, yeah. Yeah, it was created. But I don't think that...
I think they're pretty far off.
I don't feel like...
That's true, because they just got
formed.
So yeah, maybe 2 years might not be enough to conceptualize and produce.
I don't even know who all the Xbox game shooters are.
I mean, like, Obsidian's probably not going to do anything for a little bit. They've got some time there. I mean, in Exile, probably, I mean, they got Wasteland 4 coming up.
Wasteland 3?
4. Or 3?
Is it
Sorry,
3 or
3.
4? Sorry, 4.
3, yeah, you're right, yep.
Wasteland something.
Yeah, Wasteland 3.
Let me just look up Xbox game shooters, the list.
The only other ones I could think of would be Undead Labs to do another State of Decay or something along those lines.
Yep. I doubt Compulsion is going to have anything.
No.
We Happy Few devs.
No, probably not. They're still doing DLC for... they're doing their last DLC pack for We Happy Few at the moment.
Comes out next week. Double Fine will probably have Psychonauts 2, but that's not going to be... that's not going to be Xbox exclusive.
True, but it probably would be a good launch title, yeah.
But that'll be... Mojang's not going to have anything because they only do Minecraft. Yeah, Ninja Theory might have Bleeding Edge. Rare might have Battletoads.
Oh, yeah, well, that looks like it'll... Because that looks like it's nearly done, to be honest.
That looks nearly done last year.
Exactly.
That makes me think now. So, I bet you Minecraft Dungeons, you think they're going to hold off on that for the launch?
Yep.
Yeah,
Dungeons. I forgot all about Dungeons,
Definitely.
And that was at PAX as well, and I forgot about it.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, that would also be a good one a good feather in the cap for the launch.
Coalition won't have anything.
No, definitely not.
No. 343 we already know about. Halo.
Mm-hmm.
The Age of Empires studio is not going to have anything because it's PC focused.
Yep.
To be really. Playground will have a... No, Playground
Fable.
won't. Turn 10 will.
Fable may have...
Playground might have, that unannounced RPG. Turn 10 will have whatever Forza... It'll be 8?
Yep, Forza 8.
Yep. Rare might have... I mentioned Rare before with Battletoads. They might have something else. Maybe. But I don't know.
Perfect Dark, who knows? There was also the talk about Platonic maybe being acquired as well.
Yeah, but even if they are, I don't see them coming out with something in a year, considering they just dropped Yooka-Laylee 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff that hasn't been announced or hasn't even been spoken about that they'll surprise us with, I hope. But
yeah, but, I doubt Obsidian... So going down the list, 343, Halo. Compulsion, I doubt they're working on anything that'll be ready for launch. Double Fine will probably have Psychonauts 2. I doubt there'll be anything else. And that's okay. Age of Empires Studio, we talked about. In Exile, will probably have Wasteland 3 ready.
Yeah, I would think so, because they did show it at last year's E3, and we'll probably see it again. We'll probably see it again at this coming one.
Yeah, Mojang with Minecraft Dungeons.
And probably a Minecraft port as well, realistically. There's no reason why they wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Ninja Theory with Bleeding Edge. Obsidian, I doubt. Yeah, I can't imagine them having anything ready.
No,
No.
it's no way.
No. Playground maybe with the RPG. Rare, Battletoads we said. Coalition definitely not because they're... Unless it's a Gears port. Oh,
Could be Gears.
would they bring Gears Tactics?
I was just thinking Gears Tactics might be a good one. I mean, that might even come out earlier than that, though.
I think that'd be PC only, surely.
What-
It would work on console, but
I mean, I think it is coming to PC first, but I wouldn't be surprised if they port it.
yeah. Although no, Flight Sim is not a Game Studios game, is it?
Oh, I believe it is. Yeah, Microsoft Games.
Microsoft Flight Sim.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah. So that probably launch.
Yeah.
I mean, if they how the game looks, that seems right up Scarlett's territory in terms of power use. Like,
True. Yeah. And like it's probably going to be one of those things that gets a lot of expansions and that sort of stuff. So they might do an early access launch for it. Actually, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Initiative, which honestly we have absolutely no idea. Turn 10, which we're talking about, Motorsport, Undead Labs. Maybe has something, but
I mean,
the gap between State of Decay 1 and 2 was pretty big.
Was a whole
It wouldn't
generation.
be a State of Decay. Yeah, it wouldn't be a State of Decay game. It would be something else.
Well, I don't think State of Decay 2 did super well, so it might be for the best if they do something else. Who knows?
Yeah. And that's it. And they have a publishing arm. So that's... Yeah, really. So yeah, it could be a pretty stacked launch window. It could also be relatively empty.
I mean, to be fair, we're only talking about first-party titles here. They could very well be quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Ubisoft stuff got delayed, so I mean that'll all be launched for both consoles.
I mean,
Gods and Monsters.
Launching with the Xbox One, 2013, right?
Yes.
Yep. So, or at least the year of 2013, Xbox Game Studios came out with Crimson Dragon, Dead Rising 3, Motorsport 5, Spartan Assault, Killer Instinct, Loco Cycle, Max the Curse of Brotherhood, Power Star Golf, Rise, and Zoo Tycoon.
Yeah.
That's 10 titles in the first year.
Yeah.
That's not a bad turnout.
Yeah, I think
is
Rise. It was Rise, Zoo Tycoon, and
Killer Instinct,
Forza. I think Forza were the three that were launched with it when it came out originally, straight away, and the other ones.
Dead Rising 3 too.
Oh yeah, sorry, yes, you're right. Of course, yeah, Dead Rising 3.
Yeah, Dead Rising 3 as well, not Dead Rising 3 2. But even after that, there were 10 games in the second year, 10 games in the third. Ooh. See, there's a lot of like little studios that aren't, because who are the guys doing Ori?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about Ori. Yeah,
That's not going to come out. That's out in April, but I could easily see that being ported.
oh yeah, absolutely. There's no reason why they wouldn't. But I think again, I think we still need to figure out what's going to happen with these cross-gen games. Whether they're just going to be like, is it going to be a brand new SKU, or is it just going to be if you own it on the Xbox One, you can play the up-resed version on the Scarlet.
Yeah, because that's games. Sorry, studios owned by Xbox Game Studios is different to games published by Xbox Game Studios.
Yeah,
because the Ori devs aren't owned by Microsoft, but Microsoft published their game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so that's it. They're still technically first party, kind of.
Well, that's more like second party, to be honest.
1.5 party.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess, like, look, what about the Cuphead devs as well?
Yeah,
that sort of thing. There's a lot of potential there, but I think we'll see going forward. But there is, it will be interesting to see how they position it, and because they do need to make a big push with the new games, because that's been that's been all the news recently about the Xbox One. Is it just like it's the system's gotten better, but realistically, the actual number of games that we have, it's just not there. And Gears 5 didn't really super set the world on fire. I mean, people seem to enjoy it, and it got pretty good reviews. But I'm not.
Yeah, it's high 70s, I think, on Metacritic.
Yeah, exactly, which is about what you'd expect, given it's the fifth in a franchise. But that's it's looking a little quiet out there.
Yeah. Warren, what would you most look forward to of that little lineup of releases?
Honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to that new Fable RPG. I've always loved the Fable series. I'm really kind of hoping that comes out for Scarlet, and it's a decent game.
What if it's what Fable was supposed to be? Like where you would plant a tree and then turn off your Xbox for 10 years and then turn it back on, and it would be fully grown. Like,
no, I want Milo. Where's Milo?
Stanley Parable Fable Edition.
Where's the kid that I can talk to?
Yeah, in my house, like a weirdo. Yeah, wave to and show him a picture, and then we can count snails together.
I only know of that from recent stuff. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, that's good.
Oh god, that Kinect demo back when it was called the
Natal.
Project Natal.
Yeah,
Natal.
Yeah.
Sorry, Natal. Yeah, definitely not Natal. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Project Natal is a different thing, and it's not Xbox related.
I hope not.
Yeah. But yeah, so I imagine E3 next year will be very, very, very Scarlet focused in terms of announcements.
Oh, it'll be a banger.
Did I say Xbox or did I say E3?
E3.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thought I said Xbox next year.
That is if Microsoft are at E3 next year, which they probably will be, but who knows?
Yeah. I don't see them giving up the spot because it's such a fan event for them.
Well, I mean, realistically, they don't do the presentation even at E3 anymore because they have their own what do you call it? Venue, yeah.
Yeah, they just do it in the E3 time slot. Yeah,
yeah.
It's for all intents and purposes, it's a engage with the fan event.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, honestly, I think they'll keep doing it just because now they're the only major platform that's there. I mean, Nintendo and Sony have pretty much backed out, giving Microsoft the sole platform. I mean, are you going to take that stage away? No, I mean, that's free advertising.
Well, we'll see how the ESA does with this new plan they have for E3 with this Q-tainment stuff, where they're going to have people being advertised to while they're standing in line for 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and Nintendo, as Nintendo always does, is doing the old thing with their directs. Like, they don't wait for the big events. They just do a direct whenever they have news. So,
and Sony are basically going to do that with their PlayStation Experience. They've been going forward and doing those.
I don't know. I think I like the E3. Like, I feel like it's... People put a lot of work into it. And yes, you can sort of announce it whenever you want, but that's when people are expecting big things.
Yeah, and it's usually a relatively quiet time in the gaming because summer in the US is basically dead when it comes to releases.
Yeah. Yes. Any more to say, Warren? Before we move on to your baby?
Covered it.
Alright. Speaking of Warren's children, the G-Tats...
not the cats that are ripping stuff apart behind
me. No, that was my dogs a minute ago. The carpet is... I'm going to need to replace this at some point.
The dogs or the carpet?
A little bit of both. Oh, I'll send the video. I've got it. It's too big for Discord, so I'll have to put it in Dropbox. But our pool is pretty much done. I think so. We've got it filled with water. I think it just does the last few things. So we went in just to see what it was like. One of the dogs comes in. So there's a ramp, easy, like tiny little step to get in, and then a ramp that leads down to the deeper water. So she gets in. She's happy. She likes the water, and then she tries to get out. So it's obviously a rectangular pool. The ramp starts at one corner, goes across the short side, and like with a dip, and then goes across the long side and lowers down. So she's standing the opposite side of the exit with her hands over the edge and like trying to get up.
Aww.
So that's where she's decided to get up. So she's trying, and we're like, no, come on, over here. It's over here. Come on, Maggie, come on. And she's like, with her hands on the ledge, is like walking across the ledge towards us, trying to find the spot where she can get up.
Aww.
And I mean, if the pool was empty, she would have managed, but she was wet and heavy and tired because she'd been swimming. So she's like, trying to get out. It is so adorable. She's So cute doing that. But G-Task. This is period 20. 20? Yep. Oh, I nailed it. And the bonus is for the team side, and it is terrible. It is... Your RNG for these bonuses are just awful, buddy.
Sorry.
Just the worst. The bonus is called To the Gym. It's to end the scoring period with a 50% improvement over the following stats from the previous period. True achievement score, gamer score, and achievements. So if you got 100 achievements for 10,000 gamer score and 20,000 TA, you would need 50% more achievements, so 150, 50% more gamer score, 15,000, and 50% more TA score, 30,000. I don't think Roast House are going to be getting this bonus. I have a feeling with their 666 achievements, even as a start, I don't think it's worth them to get almost 1,000 achievements for this 2,000 point bonus.
I actually mentioned that specifically in the blog this week. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if it was worth it. 666.
Yeah.
The devil's at work for sure.
Now, was there a reason you weren't incredibly cruel and put True Achievement Difference as one of the numbers to
because I think
increase?
I actually was nice this year and removed the ratio increase ones as well. So I figured the TA difference is kind of the same as the ratio. I wasn't going to... There's already a double your TA difference. Yeah. That's bad enough.
Yeah. Though you did have the over 4.0 ratio a couple
that was a
weeks
good
back.
one, yeah.
Yeah. Man, if that had happened before this one...
Ooh.
Yeah, it had some fun commentary in the forums.
Sometimes between solo and team, you can get some really bad bonus matchups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, the solo cutoff for period 19 was 1,005. So it's slowly starting to creep up into having to try territory for most people. I mean, I think at this point I would have to try to stay in.
Yep.
Our low listener was Rockadude 5012, who had 1,008 true achievement difference, 3 above the cutoff, and he was in the spot right above the line.
Oh, so he was skirted just by.
He was the person who would have been knocked out had anyone decided to try a little harder. Yeah. So, very, very lucky. Our high flyer was Mad Eye Pad Eye in 25th spot with 3,742 true achievement difference. And as far as I could see, no one got knocked out on solo or in team. So, good on you. I could be wrong, and if I am, let me know so that we can all laugh at you next week, but pretty sure no one got out this week. As for the team side, the cutoff was 4,408. Our low listeners were Magic Hat Mark's Elephant Training Club with Elephant 77, Hatton 90, and someone who didn't put their gamer tag in their team name, but if they send me a message, I can put it in, Mark B. Don't know what your gamer tag is, buddy. Just let me know. 4,476 true achievement difference, a mere 68 above the cutoff. Our high team was team name pending. I think they're just waiting for Warren to actually accept their team name so it can change from the pending name to the real one. So
it'll just change. It'll change to team name accepted.
Yeah. Oh, you should absolutely.
I can't. One. That's something Richard would have to change at this point. Actually, I never could physically change names anyways. I could just not click the big X that lets you join. But
yeah.
Gonna have Rich.
Warren, you know what to do.
we need to make a quick change here.
Yeah, we'll put it in the beta. We'll put it in the beta feedback.
They'll get it. They'll understand.
Yeah.
Team name pending of High Road V2, Freemhole, and Koosh Moose, who got 4th spot with 9,525 true achievement difference. As mentioned before, no one got knocked out on team side, so well done. Everyone did fantastic in G-Task. So, this week, I have been reviewing Children of Morta. Now, I say reviewing because I played about 5 hours of this. And it was on stream. It was very, very good. I very much enjoyed it. Children of Morta was published by 11-Bit Studios and developed by Dead Mage. It was released on the 15th of October 2019 and is considered a roguelite hack and slash by TA. I maybe have contention with the roguelite tag, but I'll discuss it with the genre team. But it has a US store price of $21.99 because of course it does, because it's roguelite.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. We'll get more into that later. She's not happy about the price tag either. So the plot of the story. Essentially, you are playing as the Bergson family, the entire family, because you can sort of select different members of the family to use in the game, in the dungeons. And you traveling through these dungeons to fight corruption. The corruption was in Mount Rhea, I believe that was the name. So you go through these different sections of the mountain to release these entities that protect the mountain and can stop the corruption from spreading further. So you're essentially the guardians of this mountain and stopping the bad things from getting from the mountain to the rest of the world. So there are 6 playable characters. I only unlocked 4 of them, but I believe I was in the process of unlocking the 5th. What happened at about the 5-hour mark was I was playing the game and it just crashed, which was quite unfortunate. I was really enjoying it, and then it just locked up, crashed, and I took that as a sign and I moved on during my stream. But initially you were given 2 characters. Now I cannot for the life of me remember the name. I know Linda was one of them. I believe Luke was the other. It might have been like Jason or something, and I'm annoyed that I don't remember their names. But essentially, each of the characters has a different form of attack. So, Linda has a bow and arrow, so she attacks from range. She has a stamina meter, so she can shoot while moving, but if that that takes down the stamina, you recover it by not shooting, so just staying still. Or if you shoot while you're staying still, it will sort of recover, stop, so it just recovers more slowly. If you run out of your stamina, you are forced to stop moving while you attack, otherwise, until that bar refills all the way. You also have different abilities, so you unlock an ability that, you press it and it, like, you shoot an explosive arrow into the air, lands on the enemies, does a bunch of damage. John is the other one. John is a sword and shield, so he's got a shield, sword, same thing, he's got a ranged attack that does a bit of damage, but he's mostly melee. There's the other ones I unlocked were Kevin, who has 2 daggers. The more he hits enemies, the faster his attack gets. Like, he gets into a rage fury mode with a bar that fills up, and not attacking something for a while resets that bar. And the 4th person I unlocked was Mark. Now, Mark is a hand-to-hand combat, like, martial artist, but he will sort of leap quickly to the target you're attacking. So, if you can sort of target something that's a little bit further away, he'll jump to that with his first attack. So, very different playstyles for all 4 characters. Like, there's no blocking with anyone that doesn't have a shield. So, you have to play completely differently with each of the characters. Each of them have different skill trees to level up, but they also will have a perk that affects the whole family. So once you've spent 4 skill points for John, he unlocks a perk that increases everyone in every character's health pool. So their max health will be higher. There's also the standard route of, as you defeat enemies, you pick up coins, which you use to upgrade all your characters back at your home base. So real standard roguelite stuff. The bit that is sort of contentious for being a roguelite to me is the level layout. So there are 3 main sections that you can choose to fight in. I didn't get past the first section because of that crash, but the first section is split up into 3 sub-areas or dungeons, and there's a boss at the end of each of those sub-areas. But the areas are not connected. So if you start in the first area, deal with the first area's boss, that's it. Like, that's individual section done. You get transported back to your hub. You can move on to and choose the next one. And so once you've unlocked them, you can pick them in any order. So you can go back and keep doing the first one to maybe level up your characters a bit more, because the third one is kicking your butt or something. But they're not connected in a way where once you finish one, you automatically move to the next one and continue your playthrough. So they're like short roguelite sections. So you have your character that might be upgraded, whatever, and you can pick up runes that temporarily attach to your weapons and attacks, and usable items and stuff like that are all specifically for that sub-dungeon. And then once that run ends or you die, that's gone. But I think because it's not like a continuous loop, as you see in most roguelites, it may not qualify. I'll have to check the true achievement definition, but because of that, it may not qualify under our definition.
What do you how do you feel about Rogue Legacy then? Because that does something similar.
Rogue Legacy doesn't count for a different reason. The reason Rogue Legacy doesn't count is because once you kill a boss, it's dead forever.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounded like.
Because you permanently change how the layout of you're like permanently affecting the layout of the map.
Yeah.
Like even starting a new run doesn't reset that boss. That boss is gone forever. That's why that doesn't qualify. Everything else, if the bosses came back at the end, that'd be fine. Not a problem. At the start of every new run, that'd be fine. Because you can kill the boss and move on to the second one. Like, if you kill the first boss, you can move on to the second one, assuming you are well-equipped enough.
Yeah, that's exactly like... the way you were describing that made me think of Rogue Legacy immediately for that reason, that essentially you can permanently change the game by defeating a boss or finishing a dungeon.
So does that make a new genre? Like, call it Rogue even lighter?
Call it Rouge Light at this point.
You should call it Rogue-esque.
So what happened when I crashed the game was I was playing as John. Now, my preferred character was Linda with the bow and arrow, because I just prefer ranged characters. I always have. But if you use a character too many times in succession, they will become fatigued, and their maximum health will drop until they're quote-unquote rested, which means you just don't use them for a couple runs. So I was using John with it, and I see the point in that. It sort of keeps all your characters that are a similar level maybe, and you're not favouring one too heavily and leaving the others in the dust. Like, there is reason to use the other characters, but because it may come up later that one of the characters is way better at this dungeon and you just don't have them leveled up, so you wouldn't know because you'll never try and use them.
Right.
I was playing as John, and sort of the story had progressed to the point where Lucy, who is like the youngest daughter in this family and has an affinity with fire magic. So she has been practicing with the grandmother of the family and sort of has a grasp on it, and is now ready to embark on her first dungeon. And she was kicking ass. Like, I was just like, I'm just going to keep blocking, and you are literally taking out everything, and I'm getting experience for it, so I'm just going to let it happen. Nice. So as that was happening, the game crashed. So I'm really hoping I'm just back at that point, because that'd be nice, but we'll see. But there is a lot of story that happens in between runs. So after every run, there are in the dungeons themselves, there are two distinct doors. There's kind of like a gold door that you can pass through that enemies can't. In fact, it's not even a door, it's more like a phased wall. So you can pass through, and that has your like rewards and items that are automatic pickups. And blue doors, which tend to be story or have some kind of story behind it. So it might be that it's the grandmother revealing something about the runes in the area, or you find in one of the areas you find a baby wolf cub who's protecting its dead mother, and you kill the enemies around it, and you adopt the wolf and have to find some medicine for it, which in later dungeons are also behind blue doors. So it's very easy to differentiate what is and isn't important. Just trying to think of what else I need to hit, because it's pretty much gameplay. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else in gameplay. Like there's a ton of story. It's really good.
What are the achievements like?
So the achievements don't seem too bad. There's a bunch of story driven, so just beating all the like dungeons essentially, and getting to the point. Then there's things like completing 5 in-run events, which is events that happen in the run. I don't know if that means specifically like what I did with the baby wolf, or if that means things like there are kind of puzzles. I'm not 100% sure. There's freeing different characters, which happens throughout the story, upgrading X amount of times, leveling up X amount of times, having X amount of money. So I would say fairly standard for a roguelite game. Like it's very indicative of a roguelite title. Killing X amount of enemies, doing whatever.
Gotcha. So no real surprises.
No, nothing too crazy. There is co-op in the game. You do need to finish a dungeon in co-op mode. I don't know how difficult, whether the difficulty scales with co-op or anything like that. I haven't had a chance to try it out. Graphically, it is pixel art. So if you're not a fan of pixel art, like it's very well done pixel art. But it is that pixel art style. So if you're not into that, you may not enjoy it. The sound is amazing. All of the every attack sounds like it has the right amount of weight behind it. Swinging the big sword sounds weightier when you make contact than you do when you stab your little daggers or you shoot your bow and your arrow into someone. So it's quite a well done sound design. The voice acting, I believe only the narrator is voice acted, but it's fantastic. Like it's really well done. It's just everything looks and it fits really well, and you can tell that there was time put in to make a well-made game. It wasn't like they haven't chosen a roguelite title to force replayability onto you. Like there are games where they go, we're just going to randomize it because that means you'll have to play our game for longer. Like it was an integrated design choice. There's explanation for why when you die you come back. Like there's explanation for why when you get to the end of the dungeon the first time, you go back to your family and discuss it. There's story, like it's really well done.
All right. So would you say worth picking up for the price then?
And that's where I was going to come back. That $22 is very expensive, given that it's a ID at Xbox title. It is worth it in this case, I believe. It's a 20 to 25 hour game. I would say that's probably on the low side if you're if you're an experienced roguelite or hack and slash person. I wouldn't be surprised if it took me longer to do that, just because hack and slash twin stick stuff is not particularly great for me. I'm not very good at that genre. So,
sure.
But I think $22 is well worth it. I would probably even say, you know, $30 is probably worth it. Like I think they're underselling themselves at $22. But again, this is also very much my thing. If you're not into roguelites, you don't like that process of having to play a bit and just grinding to get a bit stronger so that you can progress, then you may not enjoy this. But I certainly loved it and am really looking forward to getting back to it, and wish it hadn't crashed on me, because I would have put way more time into it in the stream. And yeah, it was a fantastic game, I think.
Great, sounds good.
Yeah, I guess I'll keep talking, given I'm already started. So I did have as I mentioned during the review, I did have the extra live stream this weekend. When the Children of Morta did crash on me, I sort of just went, well, that was my plan for 24 hours, so I think I'm just going to have to wing it. And I just jumped on Rocket League because Alex happened to be watching. So we played a little bit of Rocket League. Then we had two listeners, Jimbot UK and Daniel JJ14, jump on as well. And we had a couple exhibition matches of myself and Daniel versus Jimbot and Alex. Did not go so well for us. We had to play on US West servers to try and balance out the ping. But yeah, it didn't go well for Daniel and I, but Alex certainly got carried by the better player. After that, Alex left, and we sort of still wanted to keep playing, but it was kind of hard to do like 2v1s. It wasn't as fun, so we did casual 3v3s in European servers. So I was sitting on a lovely roughly 350 milliseconds of ping.
Perfect. Prime gaming time.
It was great. We had a good time, and I kept telling them, if you all would stop hitting the ball, I'd be able to see where it is and get a chance at it. But you keep touching it, and it throws me off because I don't see it till it's way late. But no, it was really fun. Moving on from that, I played Creature in the Well.
Oh, yes.
I only did the story, so I just start to finish did the story. It took about 4 hours to get through it. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Then you get to the final boss battle and it ramps up to 200%, and you go, whoa, where'd this come from? Whoa.
Yep. Yes, I mean, I feel like some of those boss fights, like they really just ramp it up quite a bit. I mean, most of them are fine, but there's a couple in there where they just throw the ones where you have the towers on the platform you're standing on, and you got to try not to hit them.
Yeah, those were frustrating. Like it took me a little bit to get into. I got through 3 dungeons, and I just could not get through these secret rooms in because it opened up that 4th section with like the weather control room and the
yep.
Whatever. There's like 4 rooms opened up, and that was right before the final dungeon where you go to the well. Mm-hmm. So it was those 4 rooms, and I could not get through the secret rooms. I just did not know why. Could not get the things done in time. It was not going well. I'm like, I must be missing something. Where do I spend these cores to upgrade? I don't get it. I don't understand. I have 3 cores. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with these. Eventually figured out, left the town, explored the town a little bit, found the lady who would upgrade me, upgraded to level 4 straight away with my 3 cores, breezed through the secret rooms because suddenly I could do enough damage. But I feel like that, just even after getting the first one, could have been explained better.
Oh yeah, I feel like there's so much in that game that's not explained at all or very well that makes it's a lot more esoteric than it needs to be. I mean, I like that a little bit, but it also can be very frustrating. Like that game, yeah, I like that game quite a bit, but I feel like it had a lot more promise than it actually delivered on. I feel like it was a bit rough around the edges.
Yeah, that was the game that broke my left thumbstick.
Oh.
So, what happened with my left thumbstick was, so it's been worn down over 2 years of use because it's a Project Scorpio one. So it's been worn down, and then finally from playing that game, I got a crack in the left side of the plastic coating of the thumbstick. So that's now come off. So I just have I've exposed the hard plastic underneath, which I don't really know if you can see, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so I'm looking for a new... I'm going to be getting a new controller. I was going to get one yesterday, but I pushed for a different achievement that I didn't end up getting. But probably tomorrow I'm going to get a new controller. Just going to have to buy
Regular
one.
Design Labs or
Just a regular one for now. I mean, I still have an original Xbox controller. I don't know where my S controller went. That's disappeared in the ether. I have an Elite that I don't want to use, and I have a special edition Kingdom Hearts 3 one that I'm using now and is awful. But yeah, that's because you rely so much on that left stick that it just gave way. So I finished the story. I need to go back and get like all of the lore, and I think I have one core I need to pick up and a couple other little miscellaneous things, but for the most part that was pretty reasonable. The Outer Worlds I played after that, and I enjoyed it. I didn't play long, because at this point I think I want to say like 18 hours into the stream, and there is just, as good a game as it is, there is a lot of talking that needs to be done.
Yep.
And I didn't want to skip it because I want to pay attention to this game. But after 18 hours of playing games and not sleeping, and given that I hadn't actually slept for like 7 hours before I started the stream because I woke up early to try get an achievement that I didn't get, I'd been up for a very long time, and I was absolutely having micro sleeps during the conversations, and I'm pretty sure I had a half-hour nap on stream in my chair with the controller in my hand. While
those are the best.
Like, and I just, because I woke up and I looked up and looked at the timer, I'm like, yep, that's half an hour than I remember.
It's like listening to this show.
Yeah. So, I had to change. I went back to Rocket League just because I just needed something where I needed like my brain to be fully functioning, and I had to pay attention to, and that woke me up. From there, I went to another game that I'll talk about after, but I finished up with a game called Fort Boyard. Have either of you heard of this game?
I saw it was on sale a few weeks back. It's some French thing.
Yeah, it's a PAL or EU, sort of EU and Australia only game, so it's not out in NA. Fort Boyard is a television show in France. I think it's been redone in like the UK and stuff as well, set in an offshore prison called Fort Boyard in France, and it's kind of like, I guess, Wipeout, but
So it's like an obstacle course sort of thing?
yeah, kind of. You're given challenges that you have to complete, and you do the challenges and you get clues, and the clues solve puzzles, and then you get the prize at the end. So
it's basically Legends of the Hidden Temple is what you're saying.
yeah, like that, except weird. So I played, like, I did the quote-unquote adventure mode on easy, medium, and then hard, just because that took an hour and that finished up my time. And it's just, so hard, it adds a few more puzzles and, like, shortens the time a bit. Shush. But, like, the games are weird. So there's a trivia game where you've got these things spin around you, but they've got bandages on them. So they wrap you up and start mummifying you. But you can't answer the question until it's like there's thinking time for the riddle. You get given a riddle, you don't see the answers, but it's, I'm at the top of your head, I'm in all of your thoughts, something, the answer was brain, but you don't get to answer till like the last 10 seconds, where the bandages are basically past your head on this character.
So you gotta be really quick on the gun.
Like, you're already mummified at that point, and the answers don't show up until that point. It's like, show them from the start. Because me thinking about this is not going to help if I don't know what 6 answers I have to choose from.
Maybe that's the point. They don't want you to get the answers too early.
Yeah, super dumb. There's a game where you need to fill up. So you go in this little car. It's a pedal car, but you accelerate with the right trigger. You go fill up this thing with water, and then you go squirt the water into a tube that brings up a key. And when the key reaches a certain level, you can get it out of a hole in the pipe. But also, there's tigers in the arena.
Of course there are.
But also there's tigers.
And they just get in your way sometimes.
As tigers often do.
Yeah. And there's a cage around your thing. But and in the cutscene, they showed a tiger being released. I'm like, that's weird. Okay, whatever. I don't know why they show me that. And then I started pedaling forward, and this tiger comes around the corner. I'm like, oh, there's a tiger here. Okay. Why?
You're just gonna pedal around that?
Yeah. So on easy, there's 1 tiger. On medium, there's 2. And on hard, there's 3 tigers.
Wow.
So they're just... it's... And I don't understand. I've obviously never seen the show. But if that's something they do in the show, that's weird, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's
the show
weird
sounds great.
Have you in a pedal car
Can you tame them by throwing meat at them?
Yeah. It's
No,
like,
you could probably squirt them. I don't even think you can squirt them with water because that option isn't available till later, but it's... Oh, there you are. It's really weird. It's a... Hold up, you want to go on the bed? Yeah, go. Let me lift you up. Go. Go sleep on there. Yep, go to sleep. No, not with me. Go to sleep. Yeah, it was confusing, and then at the end you answer this quiz, and that you have a time limit to pick up boyards, which are like coins. So there's all these coins falling, and you have to stick your hand in and grab the coins and dump them in a bucket, and then at the end you get a score related to the coins, and I assume that's money of some kind.
The French come up with all kinds of interesting stuff. They came up with the guillotine.
It was really weird. It was It was very strange. But that was my extra life. That was a great way to end it, because that was... Oh boy. Okay, no, sorry. In between the mini-games, there's little cutscenes showing you being led to the next mini-game, and your guide is a midget in a blue and white striped shirt. He looks like a pirate or something. I honestly can't. I just, I can't. It was just so strange. It did my head in. The 2 games I want to talk about outside of Extra Life were Farm Together, because I just basically joined What the Fug's farm, and he unlocked a couple achievements by doing something he was going to do to get him the achievement, and because of the way achievements work in that game, because I was in the farm when it happened, I also got the achievements, so I got 10 achievements because of him, so it was awesome. And Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. The boss hunt was going this week. I could basically do nothing the entire week because most of the sessions were American and I couldn't make the times. So this weekend we hit it really hard. Kept trying to get crazy. I want to give a huge shout out to Death Dealers, Kushmoose, Stan, Toadstyle Venom, Freemhole, Isret, I don't know who else I ran with, but everyone who attempted to get this with me. We didn't get it. I didn't get it. Lots of other people got it, and hopefully it comes back soon enough, a different event so we can get it. But things happened on the last couple hours that it felt like the game did not want us to earn it. So, I'll quickly run through how it works. You drop down this bait, you defend the bait for a little bit from enemies, and then the boss spawns at that bait. You have to because it's a 4-person raid, we'll say. 2 people have to stand on points on a roof and defend those points, while the other 2 go and attack something that is summoned by standing on those points. You kill the summoned creature, a bucket will spawn for this specific boss hunt. Someone picks up the bucket. If they die, you wipe. You have 40 seconds to kill a little hero creature. Usually doesn't take a lot of damage, like it's not super tanky. You kill it, and it drops a piece of candy. If someone else eats the candy, you wipe. The bucket has to eat the candy. Once you get 3 candies, you get like a damage boost and can do real damage to the boss. Like before, you can do very little damage. You do like 10, 20. Once you get this, with one of the characters, you do like 2,000, 3,000 per hit.
Right.
So, usually takes 3 or 4 phases of boss damage to take it down. One of our runs did really good in the first wave, got it down to about halfway. Really good in the second wave, got it down to, a sliver, where it's very clear that, it's very clear we're gonna get this. As long as nothing goes wrong, we're gonna get this. You get a whole team revive. So if you wipe, you get one team retry. Everyone comes back to life and you just continue from where you were. We are on the bucket phase, right before we're getting the boss. We get 2 candies down. We're going to the final monster that has the candy to kill it, and then we will kill the boss. Unless everyone died in real life from a heart attack, there is 0 chance we're going to fail this. And then the game kicks all of us.
Oh, man.
Like, the server kicked all 4 of us.
Jesus.
We had runs where we get the boss down to half health in the first rush, and the Xbox party died. So we had no comms. We were still going. We summoned the thing by standing on 2 points and got him down. And as we were trying to get the party back up, someone grabbed the bucket too early and then died, and we wiped. We had people drop out halfway, single people drop out halfway through. It was just not on the cards. Huge shout out to those people who ran with me. You did everything possibly imaginable to get me this achievement and to get everyone else this achievement. EA did not want me to have this achievement this time. It's just, it was literally...
That's some of the worst luck I've ever heard of. And you're usually the lucky one.
You know why I feel bad about that? So I was playing as a healer. And I'm great at healers. Healers is what I always do. I was healer in Overwatch. I was a healer in WoW. That's my specialty. I was doing great. There is you have a sticky bomb as a healer. You can buy as DLC, or you can buy sticker packs, which is your loot boxes, to get a change to that, so it becomes a heal bomb instead. So it heals 50 health to everyone within the radius. I got that on my first try. So I bought 1 pack, got the heal bomb. I think that's where it all went.
That was all you liked for the whole thing.
I think that's where it all went, and that's why everything went wrong. But no, hopefully it comes back sooner rather than later, and we can smash it out. And I would be more than happy to help whoever get this, honestly, because the amount of time put into helping me by people who already had the achievement was ridiculous. So I ended up with 1,985 game score. Thanks again, especially to Death Dealers, who was basically carrying everyone to this achievement. She was a monster in this game. She was just put us all on her back and just run us through the finish line. She was destroying. Sorry, I couldn't be of more use. Okay. Matt, you look sleepy enough. Go for it.
Sure. So I played. It was a big week for me. So I played through the first tree based on your guys' recommendation last week. I'm not really seeing the hype, to be honest. It was a quick game, 2 or 3 hours. But it felt like a pretty standard platformer with a kind of interesting sub-story that you get from picking up the collectibles and stuff. But realistically, I don't really think it did much for me. But it was easy.
The story was more like the game itself was mediocre. The story was where it hit for me.
Yeah, I thought the story was fine. I mean, the story was more interesting. It was the most interesting part for sure. But I think it was just kind of, I felt like it'd been a bit done to death. But it was like it wasn't bad by any means. And if you're going to use the video guide on TA, they do miss the guide. They do miss one of the achievements for finding a name on a tree. So make sure you look for that tree in level 3. It's right next to the third obsidian rock, next to the brambles that you remove. So just a tip for anyone playing that. I did Where the Bees Make Honey. They released that title update for some bizarre reason. So, yep, still an awful game. Extra level that they just stuck in the middle of the game, basically. Like, after you do the first mission, like, there's like, oh, hey, guess what? Here's another one. It's like, okay, well, whatever. So, did that. It's a bit glitchy. You fall off the stuff quite a bit. It's not very well designed, but I got through it. And it took me, 20 minutes or whatever. I played through Gem Smashers. I wouldn't call the game fun. It's kind of a 2D... It's like a 2D puzzler where you're essentially a moving creature ball thing trying to hit all the gems on a level to get to the exit and avoiding traps and stuff. It's pretty mindless, really easy points, but it was ridiculously repetitive. Speaking of repetitive, I also played some Heavy Fire Red Shadow. Man, that is... I don't even know if this is a game, to be honest. It's literally not even, I would say on rails, but literally you're just sitting in a turret shooting people as they come up the beach, and that's pretty much it. And then occasionally you use rockets and upgrade yourself, and you just keep doing that for hours and hours. I think I'm at 900 out of 1,000 for it. The last achievement requires you to kill 30,000 people, which is about like a 5 or 6 hour grind based after you finish the game. So I'll have to go back and sit on that for some point, but I've put it off. It's future Matt's problem to worry about. I also did a bit more of The Division, still boosting The Last Stand DLC. It gets a bit difficult to get 16 people together, but we managed it quite a few times. It has a few connection issues, but we got a few good sessions going, and I unlocked pretty much all the other achievements except the Win 50 matches, which we're getting there on. I think I'm at like 15 or 16, so it's still a long way to go. The matches are about 10 to 15 minutes each, and you got to do each side. So it's probably going to be a few months before I finish that one. But the guy who finished it, the guy who's running the sessions is some crazy person who's trying to get all the commendations in the game, which includes picking up 3 million shade tech in the online. So he's finished with the online ages ago, but he's just doing this one weird bit that he wants to grind out for some reason. So hey, he set up the sessions, made it nice and easy for us. I think he's pretty much done those, so we're going to have to try and set up some new ones. Also, hit me up if you want to do the underground mode, anybody. We need to get a team of 4 together to run a couple of sessions for that, because there's a bit of a grind there as well I need to do. Red Dead 1, Blast from the Past, finally done with it, which took, it's been ages. I started it years and years and years ago when it first came out, and then I went back to it a few years ago to clean up some of the DLC and the online achievements, and grind out to level 50. The only thing I had left to do was the advanced co-op, and we finally got a team of 4 together to do it. And it was actually not too bad. We only had trouble with one of the missions on the river, which we had to do twice, and we had to do a few tries on the herd mission where all the cows died. But we had this guy, Victor, who was the most amazing shot I've ever seen. I mean, I don't know if it just partly was the connection problems, whereas I would shoot someone, it would take a second for it to register, and then I'd find out whether they died or not. But... which is, typical. But this guy, Victor, didn't say a single word, and he just carried the team. Like, I would get maybe $1,000 worth of points, and my other teammates would get maybe 700, and one would get maybe 1,500, and then he would end up with, like, 4,000. So, I mean, obviously he was damn good at the game, and he didn't have a mic, didn't say anything, but he was like the Terminator. It was ridiculous. So he would just smash through it. So I finally got that done. So it's been years. I'm really glad to have that finished. What else have I got here? Played Neverwinter. Again, it's going. So thanks to Warren and Yoda here, and some help from Frank when he's around. We were trying to do there's an achievement for finishing. There are two quote-unquote raids kind of things that are going on at the moment, where you have to essentially go through 3 levels and then fight a boss at the end for the 2 factions who are fighting each other. There's apparently an achievement for having 3, you can put runes on to make it harder. You get better rewards, but they have debuffs on them. So there's one for putting 3 runes on and beating both of those bosses. So we did that twice on each of them, and I didn't get any of the achievements. So it looks like that's bugged. So that's great. So we'll have to wait till they fix that.
Which is a bummer because that was actually one of the working ones.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so they had one of them was doing 50 reconnaissance missions, and you can do 2 of them a day. That was glitched because it wasn't counting any of them, so that currently has an unobtainable. It looks like they are counting again now. No one's got the achievement yet because they didn't retroactively fix, so people are still counting up. But the rune one was working, and now that they've potentially fixed the previous one, the rune one is now broken. So, I don't know. We'll get back to it at some stage, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm sure they'll fix it. Neverwinter's not going anywhere, unfortunately. What else have we got? Solo Island of the Heart. It was okay. A lot of block puzzles. Did spark some interesting conversation between Alison and I about relationships. But then it just turned out that we agreed on everything, so I guess we're just a really good match. So it wasn't actually that contentious. And then the big one I was working on was Monster Boy. So I mentioned that a couple weeks ago that I was working on it. So I finally got around to finishing it. I had a fantastic time. That game is still really, really good. I think it might actually be my game of the year so far. I would highly recommend it to anyone who likes the sort of side-scrolling Metroidvania. The art's incredible. The music's good. Story's not bad. It's kind of whimsical. It's got some challenge to it. It's got a lot of hidden stuff, a lot of secrets, a lot of abilities. Like, there's so much to it. It took me, I think, just under 15 hours to finish it, officially. Realistically, it's probably more like 16. So somewhere between that sort of 15 to 16 hour mark, which I think is a really good length for that kind of game. So I would highly recommend that, especially if you see it on sale, because I think it is a little bit expensive, but I would definitely jump on it if you see it somewhere. I think it also came out on disc in a few places as well. And then the main thing has been this last gasp on the Windows Phone, working on my last few titles. I've been working on some Plants vs. Zombies, and I just finished up Minesweeper. I don't know if I'm going to get all of it done, to be honest. I've got 6 titles left, and we'll see how they go. I'm really not looking forward... The one I'm really not looking forward to, though, is Angry Birds, because that's going to be such a grind. And Alison, if you're listening, it's all your fault, because you started that game, and you're like, oh, yeah, I can finish that. I love Angry Birds. And then 2 minutes in, you're like, oh, this is really hard. I'm not going to do this. Yeah, thanks. Really appreciate that.
The launch 5,000 birds? What's the grind? Which one?
It's like launch like 5,000 birds and play for 50 hours or something.
Mm-hmm. You can macro that.
I can macro that, but I still actually have to get 3 stars on all of the missions as well, and I'm actually just not very good at the game. So I will, that's after I get Plants vs. Zombies done, I think that's going to be my next one. So, but yeah, like I said, big week for me, lot going on. So that was 5,135 points this week.
Wow.
What about you, Warren?
Oh, I've been playing some absolute crap.
What else is new?
Right. Well, we have an interesting team makeup. It's Yoda, myself, and Spaz. And Spaz has kind of taken some time off from gaming to do the dadding part. So, pretty much it's Yoda and me. Mm-hmm. And that means it is some absolutely horrible stuff. On the other hand, I did get my my home console back, so now I've been dual boxing all manner of randomness. Let's start it off with Friday the 13th, the game. Yes, I started that horrible grind.
Oh, no.
Hey, the payoff is going to be amazing if I'm still in G-Task by the time I finish it. Who knows? Finished up the online in Dead or Alive 5 last round. Mostly that was just idling the online matches. That was pretty easy. NBA Live 15. I shouldn't say this because I'm going to end up with mad DK for this, but ridiculous amounts of easy ratio. If you have EA access, most of what I'm saying in this whole list is going to be EA access because I've been milking it, and there's still tons more I'm going to be grabbing. But yeah, NBA Live 15, there's so much you can grab from simming and some real easy online that you can dual box or grab a partner and crank it out. Madden 15, same thing, online simming, good easy points. Madden 25, finishing that up. Madden 17. Did the online and simming in that. Yes, 16 is on the boards for this week.
Do you actually play any of these games? You just sim them?
You have to play a couple for the online matches. You usually have to play until you get a point or to score something. So I'll kick off, receive the ball, immediately run the ball into the end zone, out the end, score a safety, 2 points, yay, and then quit out the game.
Right, you gotta crank it out with your fellow sticky gamer.
Yeah, my sticky gamer named G-Task. So I did the multiplayer in Blood Bowl. There's you had to play one match, and there's some trading achievements that you can do. So I did that. Working through the online in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. For some reason, I can't match up with my alt anymore. I don't know if it's because I've gotten too far away from it in rank, and I need to rank it up now to make it see me or something. I'm not entirely sure. The guides don't really help. But that's not a fun grind. Getting to rank 10 in that is quite a few matches. You have to do 100 ranked matches anyways, so yikes. Titanfall. I am now dual boxing Titanfall because, no one plays on the Japan West server, so I might as well.
Still? There's still no one playing on Japan West? Jeez.
I thought they were going to have a resurgence after this Apex Legends thing really took off.
So, yeah, since it's so amazingly dead, that means I can dual box with no issues. Been cranking through some of that. And then onto some games I'm actually enjoying. Well, okay, maybe not the last one. But Outer Worlds, man, Chin, when you get some time, you do need to put more effort into this. It is amazingly fun.
I've watchedZus, staff memberZus, I watched her play for a bit during her stream. I only have one thing I took away from it, and that is that I ship Pav Hottie. She's very, very attractive, and she's like, I just really don't like her voice actor, and I really wish I didn't look her up. No, I don't have a problem with the voice actor. I have problems with characters the voice actor did.
Oh, you mean, so anything that Ashley Birch has ever touched?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Tiny Tina or Chloe Price, so nothing against her. And look, she's done my favourite character ever in Parvati, but no, I am very much looking forward to not sleeping through some of those conversations.
Yeah, I very much recommend it, yes. Just the worlds themselves are so greatly detailed. I mean, like someone, I think it was actually the TA review, said that they were taking screenshots when they were playing it. Because it's just so much different than what you would expect from a Fallout-styled game. That's just kind of like...
And there wasn't an achievement for doing that?
For taking a screenshot? No.
Yeah. Wow, okay, that means it must be good.
But they did it for fun. Yeah.
They did it for fun. And a TA review, you kidding me?
Who did that review? Sam or...
I don't...
Must know. Probably. Sam's the only one that plays games.
Yeah.
Wow, the review team right
TA Shade podcast.
Ouch. Okay, so we'll move past the Outer Worlds into something a little colder, like Elite Dangerous. We are nearly home. I think actually, Spaceman and Tony have made it back. I'm still like 100 jumps away. Nearly there. We've made it back, and they still haven't gotten us our brand new ships. They postponed it till next year.
Aww.
So although we kind of raced back hoping we'd find the new content, they postponed it on us. But hey, it was an amazing journey. We really had some fun, and when you look at like our path across the galaxy, you can see like, wow, we traveled an amazing distance. We saw some crazy sights. So had a few good glitches.
And how long is this taking you guys? Sorry.
That's the thing, is I'm going to have to go back through the screenshots and look and see. I want to say close to the better part of a year.
Yeah, because it's been a while.
Oh, yeah. It has been some serious time. Since, in fact, I was so kind of itching to get back and do stuff in the regular part of the game that I made a second account on my my alt so I could play. Mm-hmm. It was... I really can't wait to get back. And then the final game that I guess I said it's fun, but not really. Neverwinter. I'm currently working on going through my 50 with my main character because at least it's working on my main character. However, I've got to grind up a second character through the entire previous mods campaign and then through this one again because the other achievements, they're just broken.
Yeah.
The one for basically completing the mod itself, the final, put the two halves of this thing together. Yeah, it didn't work. So I'm trying it for a second time on my main. I am not expecting it to work because it hasn't for anyone else, but hey, who knows? But I gotta grind out those 50 expeditions anyways, so.
Yeah, this whole mod does. I mean, like, we complain about every mod because it's just kind of what we do. But this one especially has been, like, first of all bad, and second of all broken, and third of all just really lazy.
Yeah, the fact that they actually let you run through the entire campaign in one day if you want to, like, it's just, oh, yep, here you go, just go do this, turn it in, okay, do your step. No time gating like usual. It's just, here, have it, and we'll give you the dungeon in a week. And
yeah,
I
mean, like I don't mind all that much realistically, but it's still just. Yeah, it feels like they didn't put a lot of effort into this. I'd be interested to see where the Neverwinter... I'd be very interested to see what happens with Neverwinter when we go next gen, and whether it follows or whether it just dies.
Yeah.
We can hope.
Either way, I can stop playing it, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. Fingers crossed.
So I guess for the week, that gives me a grand total of 1,560 Gamerscore.
It's respectable. Certainly not the bottom of the ladder.
Won't name names?
They're not. Huh? Yeah, well, there's someone here, well, not here, who would have been holding us up, but he's not here, obviously. Sales. Was something added to Game Pass? I can't remember. Oh, no, coming soon will be added to Game Pass. That's, the Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition will be on PC Game Pass. So that'll be nice to not have to pay for that one.
Yep.
Sales this week are weird. It's like I don't know. It's a weird mix of games that they've put on sale.
Yeah.
We've got the 3 pinball games in Babylon 2055, Quantic Pinball, and Zombie Pinball. They're all 50% off $249, I hope. I'm just copying off Babylon 2055 because the other two aren't up here, but pretty sure they're all the same price.
But Babylon's the easy one, right?
Babylon and Quantic are about the same. Zombie Pinball is redonkulous.
Right.
Yeah.
Redonkadonk.
Yeah. Donkadonk. Blackwood Crossing is 50% off $7.99. Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 50% off $4.99. Lost Artifact Soulstone 60% off $3.99. Panarium 80% off $1.99. Road Rage 85% off $2.99. Solo Islands of the Heart 50% off $9.99. Spencer 30% off $4.89. The Count Lucanor 75% off $3.74. And Yonder, the Cloudcatcher Chronicles 50% off $14.99. So that's I mean, not that there's ever really a theme, but there's not even our usual GTAs and stuff. I mean, there's a Far Cry that's on sale. That's
pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. It is though Far Cry Gold Edition, and it's not on sale in the US, so sucks to be them. Okay. What do you recommend people get, Matt?
I would recommend Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. 50% off, $4.99. Sort of fun, side-scrolling shooter with some sort of really stupid mobs to humor. The sequel is also pretty good, which has been on sale a few times, so I would definitely recommend, It's not too difficult. There are some challenging bits, but it's a pretty short game, and you can... I mean, if I can get through it, you can get through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Warren, did you have anything you think people should definitely buy in this sale?
I mean, I'm probably going to end up grabbing Road Rage because it's normally a $20 game, dropped down to $3. Also, we didn't mention it, but ACA Neo Geo Samurai Showdown is on
right.
sale, which is probably one of the easier completions. There's 3 of the ACA Neo Geos, but the other 2 are kind of, looks like longer completions. Stakes Winner and Metal Slug 4 is almost a 2 ratio.
Yeah.
So Samurai Showdown looks pretty universally easy, though. So, I mean, if you haven't grabbed it yet, I guess $4 isn't bad.
Yep. This is a tough call. I don't want to go with Lost Artifacts again, because that's just Gnome's Garden clone that we all love.
That
every one of us has rated 5 out of 5. Look, it's got a 5-star rating on TA, so...
Yeah, fair enough. Can't argue with that.
Definitely has 5 stars. Why are you looking at me like that? I think... You know what was a good one? Count Lucanor.
Yep, I would agree.
That was very... There are guides not on TA, like there are full game walkthroughs not on TA that work perfectly well. It's a really interesting game. There is a few sort of stealthy bits that could be difficult, but I guess I lucked out and didn't really come across many of the enemies. I don't know if it's common that you see the enemies, but I didn't really see them.
You can get quite unlucky, and it can be a bit of a pain. But for the most part, it's a relatively simple game. It's also a little spooky.
It's sneakily developed by Ratalaika, but they did it on the side, so it's not technically a Ratalaika game, but they were involved in making it. So
interesting. I didn't know that.
No, it comes up on they have a title card.
Right.
Comes up. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's quite a good game, and for it was, I think, Game Pass, I believe.
I don't think so. It's been on sale a few times, though.
It might just be it then, yeah. Because I think, I can't remember again. I could have purchased it.
Yeah, I
could have been
definitely
through Game Pass.
It, yeah.
You know, gosh. At this point, I don't know how I get games.
They just show up.
Yep, exactly. But no, that's a good one. I think people probably should go in that direction. Anything you're looking at buying, Matt?
I might pick up Babylon Pinball. I'm not very good at pinball games, but this one looks relatively easy, and I see you finished it, so I figured I'd ask you.
Yeah, no, there's 2 challenging ones, and that's the cycling through all of the boards in one go, so essentially in one set of lives, can be difficult, but it's not the worst. And there's one for like beating challenge mode, which isn't too difficult once you read up on the multi-ball glitch. Some glitch to get it to spawn like 20 balls, and then it becomes super easy because you just like... Yeah. That's right. Scared you, didn't I? I basically have bought like everything I'd want to buy. I've bought everything in this the Gamescore games list I own already. Everything. Yeah, there's virtually nothing on this sale for me, and that's a rarity.
It's been coming up a few weeks now. I think we're starting to get to that point where we're hitting sale saturation.
Yeah. We also have Black Friday coming up, so
True.
I mean, it's going to be the same stuff we always see, but you know, there could be more reason why this is a quieter sale than we're used to. Hey, all right. And you're just looking at Road Rage, were you, Warren?
Yeah, probably for myself.
Yeah. Make sure when you're grinding out the hitting people with the bat achievement for Road Rage that you save in between and don't have it freeze 80% of the way there and have to redo it all like someone.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. That was real bad.
That sounds great. Is it so bad it's good, or is it just so bad?
It's just bad. It's just really bad.
I mean, is it like $3 good?
Oh yeah, it's like the $3, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I got it for like 10.
Yeah. I think I got a free copy at some stage that I borrowed or something.
Yeah, I think I got it when it was like $10, I don't know. Or 5 maybe. It's just, yeah. New stuff. We have on Thursday, we only have 3 things that are super interesting. Or at least to me. Thursday we have Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition coming out on Windows 10.
Woo.
That's straight into PC Game Pass. Oi, stop. I don't care what you're excited for. Okay. You want to go? Sorry. You want to go outside? I'll get you outside.
Yeah, I'll give you fucking outside. Alright, Chen, you'll have to cut that bit because I just swore, but it's fine.
Okay, that's all right.
I figured you cut it anyway.
Yeah. On Friday, we have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which could... I mean...
I'm super looking forward to this.
Hearing that it's sort of Dark Souls-y, I'm like, maybe not, because I'm very not good at those games.
Yeah, that's 100% up my alley, so I'll definitely play that.
And then on Tuesday, we have Munchkin Quacked Quest, which is unfortunately nothing like the board game, except that it shares the same sort of names and characters and items and stuff. Because trying to replicate that board game would be damn near impossible.
Yeah.
Like, just the obscure rules and stuff. God, I'm sure it is possible, but that's a lot of work to try and get all that stuff in and know what does and doesn't work. And unless you just go, like, you just have to then go at some point, you know, regardless of whether it works in the actual game, we're just not going to have it work in our virtual board game.
I mean, to be fair, when cheating is part of the game, it's a little hard to program that in. Like,
you'd have to have it so that you couldn't cheat except with the cheat cards.
Yeah.
Like, where it's just rather than you can cheat if you don't get caught. Which is what it is now. Anyway, that's like a dungeon crawler. I think it kind of looks interesting. Maybe, it's Munchkin themed, so maybe I'll get it. I'm not really sure. I don't think there's any questions, or at least I haven't put them in, so there's definitely not. And if there was, message alex@realgamerscore.com. Send an email to him.
Send all your complaints.
He handles all the complaints and community questions. If we've missed it, it's his fault, okay?
And not just because he's not here to defend himself.
No, he's the person you should send your complaints to. He's our community, almost like our community manager, you would say. He definitely is Mr. He has the biggest shoulders to bear the brunt of the complaints. Yep. We have small, slim, slender shoulders. He's got big shoulders. Alright. Milestones for episode 67. And again, at the moment our milestone bot is broken because RSS feeds are broken. I keep poking Rich to get them fixed, but they're not being fixed yet. But I hope I've got everything I should have got. We have Prue has reached a new milestone of 1 million True Achievement Score.
Woohoo!
Got you all excited, think it was Gamerscore. He's not that good.
He's pretty good, though, to be fair.
He's pretty good. That's a million's well on the way. Certainly better than Alex. Kingsman 2625. We have a lot of Achievement 1 milestones. I feel like we have too many, and that I've stuffed up and picked up too many. But I was like, I'm pretty sure this fits. Yep. Kingsman 2625 has reached a new milestone of 16,000 achievements won. Daryl Maple has reached a new milestone of 19,000 achievements won. Freemhole has reached a new milestone of 11,000 achievements won. Daniel JJ14 has reached a new milestone of 19,000 achievements won. ChinDocta has reached a new milestone of 1,750 games played.
That's not a milestone.
I unintentionally hit this with Outer Worlds.
Really? Yeah.
It just happened to be my 1,750th. I was like, oh, interesting. Moving on. Planting 42 is currently on a 20,000 achievement win streak.
I'm sorry, what?
20,000 achievement win streak. And it's gone now. I think, what was it? 2,250 days?
2,300, I think it was yesterday.
23, yeah.
Okay, just to put that in perspective, I have 45,865 achievements total in my entire gaming history. And you're telling me that you have 20,000 in a streak.
Since like 2013 or so, yeah.
Whew, Jesus.
I have 24,000 achievements. Basically. Your streak essentially is only slightly worse than me.
Well, here's the sad part, and I completely blame GTASC. My actual achievement total is 30,255. So literally 2/3 of my grand total is in
from
one
the
streak.
Wow.
Jeez. That's a hell of a lot. Okay. Epilepsy77 has reached a new milestone of 12,000 achievements won. Kronos has reached a new milestone of 300 completed games. Valak C has reached a new milestone of 8,000 achievements won. And now we've got two big ones coming up. Marky Bihoy 89 is in the top 100 of the Scotland True Achievement leaderboard.
Woo.
What this means is we've all now learnt that he's from Scotland.
Yeah. Alright, so you've been saying the Marky Bihoy thing incorrectly the entire time. Wrong accent.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Not going to even try.
Damn it.
No,
Alright.
no.
Fair. You know what? Actually, you know what? Let's not alienate the rest of our listeners. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like him and his sister listening from Scotland. Wife, sorry.
The same person? No, okay. Let's just keep moving on. And then the last one. No, I'm just kidding, Mikey. You're not from Norfolk.
Oh. Oh. Okay, and the last one, Falafel77, is now number 1 in the England Gamerscore leaderboard for Metroidvania, which is a huge accomplishment.
That's ridiculous.
Number 1 in a leaderboard. That's insane.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good work. Falafel is a very hard name to say in Korean. They don't have F's or L's.
Oh, yeah, okay, so there's...
There's Perapur.
Like, Parappa the Rapper?
Yeah, like Parappa the Rapper. Perapur. Yeah. I probably butchered that anyway in my Konglish. One of my best jokes is in Konglish. That's the worst thing. And only if Sangrius ever listens to us, he might giggle. He might have a chuckle, but probably not. What do vampires drink in the morning?
What do vampires drink in the morning, Kirby?
Coffee. Cause,
Okay.
The Korean word for coffee is coffee.
Yep.
But ko is nose and p is blood.
Right, nosebleed. Got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Jokes are always funny when you explain them.
Yeah. That's my best joke. For all the Korean listeners. You're welcome.
Suddenly all 67 episodes make sense.
My best joke is one that I have to explain because none of you speak the language. Oh my god. What we're going to have to do one of these weeks is we're going to have Alex on and I still run the show anyway.
Oh,
Because I feel like, was it the Jimi Hendrix experience? This is the Kirby Chin experience. Like, this is a class of its own.
Oh, so have you hit 27 yet?
No, I have not.
Alright, well, you better make the most of it then.
Yeah, we got a year. We've got a year until I hit that rock star age. And then I play I die in a freak table tennis accident.
Oh, God. Alright, I think that's yeah, we can end the show on that.
That's literally the perfect moment to end the show on. If you would like to send in any questions or anything, you can contact us through email, hello@realgamerscore.com. You can find us on Twitter, @realgamerscore. Catch us in the Discord, discord.io/realgamerscore. Or catch me outside. How about that?
How about that? Yeah.
Patreon, you can find us patreon.com/realgamerscore. Give me $1 for every time you laughed at my Korean joke.
We're going to owe people a lot of money, Chin.
We're going to get a whole bunch of $0 pledges for some reason. I don't know how. You physically can't do it, but they're going to figure it out.
They're going to be pledges and then cancelled immediately.
Yeah. So send in any questions to if you want, or, whatever you feel like doing, really, to be honest. Just do it. You do you, and we'll do us, and everything will be fine. If you would like to help the podcast out, because now I can't remember the website, but we are only the 11th ranked Xbox podcast, according to randomwebsite.com, whose name I can't remember, but they had Major Nelson up the top, so it's legit.
Yeah.
We want us to be at least top 10, so get on it, guys. Subscribe on iTunes or whatever podcast platform you're listening to. Stitcher, Spotify, Kingsman 2625 Radio. Leave a review, preferably on Apple Podcasts, because that's the king of reviews. They just bump everything. But leave it wherever you listen. That works as well. Doesn't bother us as long as you get the reviews out there and it's good. Don't leave a bad review. If you have a bad review, if you're rating us less than 4 stars, it's like eBay. That's basically 0 stars to us. Just send us an email and we'll try and fix it. Don't rate us poorly.
Don't worry, free shipping. Free shipping.
Yeah, free shipping. We won't charge you for the podcast anymore.
Unless you're
Patrons
Patreon.
will charge you. Yeah. Tell your friends. That's an important one. Your friends definitely want to listen to us. They just haven't heard us yet. Retweet us on Twitter. Retweet Cameron on Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube. New videos every time we can be bothered. And, as mentioned earlier, Patreon. Warren, if people wanted to get in touch with you, how would they do so?
The simplest way would be to come and knock on my door. But barring that, I'd say send me a message on TA or Xbox Live or Discord. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me.
Alright. Awesome. Matt, what about you?
I don't remember.
Okay. You can find...
Neomaster on some things, whatever, you'll find me. Get over it.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Alright. Okay.
I do what I want.
Send him an in-game message in Neverwinter. He loves to read those.
Oh, yeah. Yes, send me some guild mail.
Oh my god. Alright, and if you want to get in touch with me, you can contact me on Xbox Live, on trueachievements.com, on Discord, or on Twitter, all under the name ChinDocta. That's ChinDocta. If you would like to watch me on Mixer, it's mixer.com/ChinDocta. Tune in this weekend, Saturday. It'll be Saturday, like 10 a.m. UTC. It'll be my scary game stream.
Yes.
So it'll be roughly sundown to sunup. I'm gonna get... If you have ideas of what scary games I should play, feel free to send them in to me. If they're on Game Pass, that's awesome. I have Game Pass. I can play them. If they're not, check my collection. I probably own it, because that's kept pretty up to date. But I know I'm going to do Blair Witch.
Yep.
I'm not looking forward to that, but I know I'm going to do
Amnesia.
that. Amnesia. Home Sweet Home.
Ooh.
There are a few that I've definitely got lined up. I know I'm doing Caretaker, which I don't know if it's scary or just awful, but I'm going to do it. It's supposed to be horror. Like, that. Figure out what you want me to play. It'll be like probably 9-10 hours of stream. I'm an absolute wuss. Lights are going to be off. Headphones will be on. I mean, you might not be able to see me very well because the lights will be off, but I will do my best to have the screens. Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to it.
But we are, so
but
that's
it's
the main
gonna
thing.
happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen, and it'll be worth it probably in the long run. And then if I die, I don't have to be on the podcast anymore. So there's that.
Yeah, so make sure you sign up for the Patreon so we can afford to pay for chin psychotherapy and shock treatment.
And a life insurance policy.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that first, yes.
Yeah, I need to chuck a nail through my nose to rip out a bit of my brain. What is it? Lobotomy?
Lobotomy, yeah.
That's what I need. Bunch of those. Alright, that was episode 67. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully we haven't put you off for any other shows. And if we have, again, alex@realgamerscore.com.
Tell them how sticky you are.
At this point, we can't lose you because of how sticky you are to our podcast. So, like, just
stick with it.
Get stickier. Yeah, just like do whatever you need to do to keep us sticky. Goodbye.
Ah, bye.
Bye.